I don't know why I've been so like intimidated by the thought of posting on YouTube. Because I've been posting on Instagram, I've been posting stories, reels. For some reason, posting on YouTube is like, and it's nothing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make this video off the rip, raw, just unfiltered. Basically, my thoughts like right now. So today is what, December 28th. It's almost the new year, it's almost 2025. And I don't know about you, but for me, when the new year comes around, it's not like I'm excited. It's not like oh, the new year's here. It's gonna be so great. I'm gonna have all these resolutions, all of this. No, it's like, it's literally just another day. I kind of think the same way about my birthday. Just thinking like, oh, like this is another year that I kind of let go by me, right? That I didn't fully grasp and that I didn't fully use to my advantage to propel myself towards my dreams. But that's something I want to change because I do want to be able to appreciate the New Year's, appreciate my birthdays. And this last year for me has been pretty interesting. So I did drop shipping. I got some results there. Right around this time, actually December, I moved back from Paris. I'd been staying there for 6 months after dropping out of architecture school. So I moved back in December of 2022. That was not last year. That was 2 years ago. Damn. Oh wow, okay. Last year I had already been back in the south of France for 1 year. And it had been 6 months since I herniated my disc in my back. My sister was back for the holidays. I was with my mom. I had my car. Ended up crashing my car January 3rd. Which kind of set me back because I couldn't drive for like a few months. And then I basically borrowed my neighbor's car to drive around. But in terms of training, I started like getting better and better. Just from my hernia was doing better. It had been 6 months since I'd herniated my disc, and it had been a year since I'd gotten back from Paris. So I wasn't wrong about that. But I had gotten sales with the dropshipping stores around that time, and then later on, around March, I believe, I started taking self-improvement seriously again. I've always had these phases where I was like taking self-improvement seriously and then going down, dipping down again and then down. And I've always done that, and I've always told myself that like this is who I am. Like I'm someone who works in phases, and I'm not able to like concentrate fully and dedicate myself to something. Bullshit. That's a lie that I sold myself. It doesn't have to be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way for you either. Right? If you stop selling yourself short on your own life, on your own success, and your own future, you could get results at an exponential rate. Now, the one thing that I can speak on is my physique. My physique, the moment I stopped making excuses and the moment I was like, you know what? I'm going to be delusional. I was seeing these guys on TikTok, Instagram, right? Maybe they were using steroids. Maybe they were doped out of their fucking minds. They looked insane, usually at very young ages. But I saw that and I was like, damn, I'm going to get that physique, and I'm not getting that physique in like 10 years of training naturally. No. Or not naturally, but like 10 years of training optimally, science-based, whatever. I was like, no, like I can get this physique if I actually dedicate myself to it. Now, I went a little overboard, but I don't regret it. Here's why. So, this was probably, what, 2 years ago? No, it was a year ago. Was it a year ago? 2 years ago. Huh. Almost 2 years ago. Anyways, early 2023, right? I get my driver's license. Yeah, I get my driver's license. I get this job at Subway, at which I work for like 5 months. I'm working 40-hour work weeks, pretty much. And every single day of the week, I'm hitting the gym. Now, I had my driver's license, but I didn't have a car, and I lived in a place in France where you kind of have to have a car to get around. So I'd use a bus or I'd just walk. Um, and then in the mornings, my mom would just drop me off because at the time I come back to live with my mom. And I remember hitting the gym every single day, or like 6 days out of the week out of 7. And on my rest days, I was itching to just get back into the gym. And the reason I was itching was because it was the one thing that was like keeping me sane. It was either I was doing that or I was just rotting in bed and feeling like shit, right? I'd been out of a gnarly breakup like a year prior to that. And I was questioning my whole identity as a man, not because of the breakup, but because of where I was in my life, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like I wanted to start this business, and then I'd start it, and then I'd be like, I wouldn't even try fully to my fullest potential, and I'd give myself excuses as to why it wouldn't work. And so it was like I was constantly battling myself and putting barriers and limits to my own potential of what I could accomplish. And if I have like one piece of advice, it's like you have to stop doing that. You have to like just jump in. If you're the type of person that just overthinks all the time, you're creating anxiety for yourself. You don't actually have anxiety. You're just creating this fake anxiety that you're wrapping yourself around in. And then you're using that as an excuse to stay where you are because you're scared of success. The true reason you're doing that is because you're actually scared that you're going to succeed. But then when you succeed, you're going to have more responsibilities. And you're going to have to change who you are as a man. You're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to grow. That means you're going to have to shed all of these old vices and all of these old habits that you do not want to let go of. Maybe there's a higher self, a higher version of you, right? The version that you aspire to become. That version of you wants that for you. But all of the habits that you've accumulated over the years as you were growing up, they're used to the comfort. And they'll use anything to drag you down and just keep you at that level, right? They're going to try, and like that part of you is going to try and tell you like, you know, look how many years you've been telling yourself you're going to do something you haven't. Might as well just like give up. You don't have to try. You don't have to give it your all. You don't have to try and tell yourself that you're going to stick to something until it works. Now, the whole purpose of this YouTube channel, of everything that I'm doing currently, is that I have tried moving in silence. Okay, once again, this is the thing that I'm basically telling you. I tell myself I've tried, I haven't tried. But for me, I think I need that self-accountability, and I think we all need that. That's why a sense of community is really important. And I'm planning on launching like a free community at some point once this channel starts getting a bit of traction, just so that other guys who relate to this and you guys are like trying to better yourselves, whatever like point in your life you're at, whether you're like 17, 18 years old, you know, you're flat broke, you're not doing anything. Maybe you're 25, maybe you're 30, 40. Who cares? If you're at a point where you know that you can do better for yourself, maybe for your wife, for your kids, for your grandchildren even, right? For yourself and for God. That's like the most important one. For God and for yourself. If you know that there's something that you can improve on and you need that accountability, you need to find some form of accountability with yourself first, but others will help with that. Now, how do you find accountability with yourself? You need to have a process dialed in day by day. And a lot of people now with like self-improvement trends will try and make it sound cringe, like, oh, you've got like a morning routine, right? You're doing push-ups. You're waking up at 4 a.m. Who are you trying to look cool for? Right? But it's not about that. It's about proving to yourself and to your mind that yes, you are capable of change. Yes, you are capable of all of these things that you believe you're not. Okay, so you need to have a list. Now, I'm just going to show you what I have. So I just write it all down on paper. You can also have it digitized, but for the start, I just say just buy like a cheap fucking notebook and write out a checklist every night before you go to bed. Write out your routine in the morning, right? I have my routine, 2:45 a.m. this morning, okay? Most mornings, 3:15. Sometimes I want to, I just want to film some more stuff. Maybe I need to call like some family who's back in France. Now I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii. So I'll wake up a bit earlier, right? Sometimes I wake up, but most of the time it's 3:15. 3:15 is like my alarm. It's when I wake up, but if it has to be earlier, it'll be earlier, right? I measure my weight. So one actionable step I do is I leave my phone across the room from my bed so that when the alarm sounds, I have to get up. I have to get up, go turn off that alarm. And then I make myself do one active step. What's that? I walk out of my bedroom, I go grab a glass of water, I get my cold water from the fridge, I pour myself a glass and I drink it. That wakes you up. I go back into the room and I have my scale, my weighing scale right there, and I weigh myself. And then I take my pen and I have to write down how much I weigh. And then your brain starts to get into motion, right? I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, do whatever I need to do. Get back in my room, I'm already awake. And now I do my push-ups. And I don't do my push-ups to like say, oh, I did physical exercises. No, right? If you're starting out, sure, that's good. If not, no. Like for me, it's just about the repetition. It's like, is it a question? No, I'm gonna do my fucking push-ups, obviously, duh. But whatever your process is, right? Some people take cold showers. I don't. I did for a while. Doesn't really. I feel like I'm just wasting time. I feel like it's just taking more time out of my day. Maybe I will re-implement it at some point. I'm trying to keep my routine like simplified as much as possible, just so it takes me less time, especially because I am gonna be like working a full-time job, 40 to 45 hours a week, and I need to know that, you know, I have a routine that's down, but that's really simple. So that's my main recommendation. Then you need to take some time where you put your thoughts out onto paper. Now you can choose to journal in the evening, right? Or in the morning. Now I like to do both, but if I were you, I would start with probably the evening, just so you can just pour out anything that's left in your head and you don't want to keep there, so you can go to sleep at peace. Write it down, and then write down intentions for the next day. And then after you do your little checklist of your routine and of the 3 most important tasks that you have to do for the next day, whether it's with work, whether it's with the gym, whatever area of concern you have that you want to improve and get better in, do that, okay? And stop with this whole thing of like, it's the new year. Stop trying to use these events as motivation. Now, if it does help you, great. But the thing is that the new year, everyone gets a new gym membership, right? Gym owners know this. They know people like, oh, resolutions, right? Here they come. They're going to come here for like a month, maybe a few weeks, and then they're going to stop. Don't be that person. It doesn't matter when you start. It just matters that you start now. Don't start tomorrow. Start now. Make the decision to change now. Because I'm going to tell you something. My physique, I always sold myself an excuse when I was younger. I told myself, oh, I live too far away from like other kids, like from activities. My mom was willing to drive me. I could have done like athleticism. I could have done like different activities. I didn't. Like, if you want something, you're going to figure out a way. At the time when I was going to Subway, I was working at Subway for 40 hours a week, right? I would hit the gym 6 days a week, and I would hit the gym for 3 to 5 hours sometimes. Now that's insane. Don't do that. It's useless. But for me, it was therapy. Nothing else could bring me that form of being able to fuel any frustration, anger, doubts, worries, and just put it all into one purpose. I've struggled to do that with business. I've struggled to do that with other endeavors that would have benefited me, but I'm learning to do that now through a process of self-improvement. But if you don't know where to start there. Start with your physique. And if you've already made some money, right? You've already gotten some skills down, you've made some money, maybe you're in a relationship, whatever it is, right? You can't neglect the important aspects of your life, which include training, getting a physique that you can be proud of, and most importantly of all, a physique that's healthy, that you can use, you know, if you have kids, or if you want to have kids later on, to be able to play with them, to be able to be strong and protect and defend them, right? And to have your nutrition dialed down, because what you eat doesn't only affect your outward appearance. Not only will it help with your muscle building, with losing your fat, it's also going to help with your skin condition. It's going to help with your brain fog, right? A lot of people, they just eat shit and they don't realize that that's what's poisoning their mind. That's why they're always kind of depressed, kind of like groggy the whole day. Like, I don't have the energy to exercise. You don't have the energy to exercise. You build that over time. Like, your body will adapt to whatever it is that you put it under. Our bodies were designed to undergo extreme stress. But if you don't develop that skill over time, it will atrophy. So don't wait for the new year to start. All right? And don't put a limit on your growth, and don't put a time frame. So when I say don't put a time frame, I don't mean like have a goal in your mind, right? And it might not be a goal, because if you have a dream but you don't write it down, that's just a dream, right? You can wake up, just a wet dream. That's it. You need to write that goal down. I struggle with this a lot, right? Especially because I got a lot of them. It's fine. Brainstorm it. Write it down. Write down whatever comes to your mind. And then streamline it. See like what's actually really valuable to me. What's really important. Write those goals down. Break them down. Put them over a timeline. And cut the timeline shorter, okay? So if you tell yourself, okay, I'm giving myself 5 years. No. Boom. A year, okay? You'd be surprised the amount of progress you can make. Now, there's one thing that you need to keep in mind, because I was a very perfection obsessed type of person, meaning if I'm not perfect, I'm failing and therefore I'm not worthy. I'm always pursuing this like goal of perfection. And it's not bad when you think about it, but the only problem is that you're never going to be perfect. But chasing a higher standard and saying, okay, like I'm going to be better. I'm going to do my best every single day. I'm going to try my best every single day, and actually try your best every single day, right? Give it more than 100% of your effort. That's different, because then you're not telling yourself, even if I'm not perfect, you're not telling yourself, oh, I wasn't perfect today, I'm a failure. No. You're telling yourself, even if I was not perfect today, I held myself to a higher standard, and I'm going to get to where I want to go. And that keeps you on a constant, upward momentum curve. Even if there's moments where you're going down, the main thing is that you don't care how you feel. You don't care if you feel like you've made progress. You don't care if you feel like you're motivated. You don't care if you feel like you're depressed. It doesn't fucking matter. You're still going to make progress. You're still going to move up. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's the same thing if you're like tracking a bulk or a cut. You want to see the progress that you're making. There's some days when let's say I'm bulking, where I'm a little lighter than others. It doesn't matter, because overall, the curve goes upwards, right? So stop telling yourself that it's going to take time. Sure, put it on a timeline and see you have your goals on a timeline, but make the timeline as short as possible. And then look at the actionable steps that you can take, and realize that you are the only person that's preventing yourself from getting those results today. And everything happens inside of your mind. I got a good physique pretty quick when I actually started implementing real training, and I actually gave it my all, and I was actually focusing on going to failure, eating enough, right? Being delusional, thinking like I can look like these doped up guys. Guess what? I'm closer now to looking like them than I ever was before, when I was telling myself like that's not obtainable naturally. You need to have unrealistic expectations and standards in your head, but you can't let yourself get depressed when it's harder than you thought it was going to be. So you need to have that vision of like, okay, I can achieve absolutely anything, even if it's like some crazy goal, right? But if it doesn't happen right now, and if it doesn't happen in the following days, even though you're putting in maximum effort, it doesn't matter. You just keep going. So you can't let yourself get put down by something not happening as fast as you would have liked it to, because you know that you're doing this for the long run, and it can come in 2 years. You don't care. It's coming. You know it's coming. Or it could come in the next few months, and you don't care. It's coming. I know I'm on an upward trend towards success. I know what Lamborghini I'm going to be driving pretty soon, right? And you're your only limiting factor in your own life. Please understand what I'm saying when I say this. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're working 50 hours a week. It doesn't matter what fucking job you have. It doesn't matter if you're in debt. It doesn't matter if all of your friends left you or hate you. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend left you. It doesn't matter if your wife resents you or your children don't respect you anymore. You can change that by changing yourself first. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your circumstances, and start attacking with true intention. Right? Start developing a vision for yourself, a vision for your life, and back it with tremendous effort. And I'm telling you, over time, that effort compounds. As you learn a skill, you're going to get better at the skill, and you're going to get more efficient, and it's going to go faster and faster and faster. It's the same with everything. Everything is gonna compound. I believe in you boys. And I believe in myself, and you need to believe in yourself first to make it happen. Love you, boys.